listening to Changing Reality. Changing Reality, where we bend reality all across the world. Only on WQHS Radio. So, hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Changing Reality. Welcome one, welcome all. If this is your first time joining in for the show, we appreciate you coming in. And of course, where have you been all this time? This is the place to be. And of course, if you are a returning member of our audience, as always, we appreciate each and every single time you join us. And I hope that you're having as much fun, with our first few episodes of the new year as I have been having amazing conversations as well. So, for all of you who are new, Changing Reality is a show that features phenomenal people from all walks of life who are, in essence, changing their own reality. So, through this show, we have the opportunity to hang out and interview amazing individuals from social change makers, entrepreneurs, business owners, to even artists, musicians, and inspiring individuals from all across the world and from here at the Penn campus as well. And by hearing these inspiring stories on how they manage to not only change the way that their reality is shaped, change their own paths, their careers, we hopefully will get the little nuggets of wisdoms that we can pick up from their story that will help us in our own journeys and as we craft our parts as well. So this is something that I think is so integral to not just our audience today, but to all students out there. Just because I feel that stories has the power to change the world. And it's personally been something that I have been very passionate about. And I've always wondered how people who make waves in the lives of those around them are able to start their own change from the inside. So hopefully this show will enlighten not just me, but all of you on the internal journeys, the struggles, the lessons that these successful people have gone through. And to tell you a little bit about how much the power of stories is something that I believe in and how much it's changed my own life. My name is Harsha, and I'll be your host for Changing Reality. A little bit about me is I actually founded and started a youth movement called Ascendance that began back at home in Malaysia, where I'm from. But today collaborates with over 28 different countries, as well as our Malaysian Ministry of Education, to help provide an alternative education platform for any student who wants to change their reality. So, in essence, we work with students from elementary all the way up to college through various sessions, programs, experiential learning activities, and projects that help them discover their passion, learn about themselves and the world around them, and start their own careers while they're still in school that creates meaningful impact not just for themselves, but for those around them as well. And to date, we've been fortunate to work with over 50,000 students, 970 communities, and have incubated countless number of student-run projects, social enterprises, and many other careers run by students as young as 8 to 25 years old. And the essence behind of this, the amazing initiative, or the reason we've been able to create this impact, has been stories. It's been kind individuals who have been willing to take their time out to share their journeys and to share with us the things that made a difference in their life that has enabled us to today bring that impact to more students out there. And just like how that was something that impacted the work I do with Ascendance, I hope that this show is that same platform for all of you watching as well, so that through this show you are able to gain the information, the experience, the knowledge, and the clarity that you need as you navigate your future and as you decide what you want to do next. So if there's any themes, topics, experiences, or industries that you want to explore, feel free to let us know. You can let us know in the show chat below. You can email us, and we'll find a way to incorporate it in the show so that you can get the stories that will make the most impact to you as well. And with that, I think moving to our episode for today, we have an absolutely brilliant speaker. From hearing his story, I was very inspired by all of the work that he's managed to accomplish, the impact that he created, as I said, not just in his own life, but with those around them today. And we are actually speaking to the general partner of StarForge Fund, which is part of the Archangel network of funds. He also is someone who actually is very heavily involved in the Wharton Alumni Angels, which is an association of Wharton alumni who invest or participate in angel investments collectively, where he actually is one of the chair members on their selection committees as well. But he is an individual who, as I said, has brilliant experiences. He's someone who's passionate about early stage investment and has built a portfolio of around 50 startup companies in Canada and the US. and he often focuses on early B2B stage companies with disruptive technologies and business potential in enterprise software, ICT, artificial intelligence, and many others. He actually has, I think, over two decades of experiences as a business executive in some of the top Fortune 500 companies out there. To name a few of his phenomenal experiences, he was actually managing director of McData in China, as well as I think he played an amazing role as the country manager and director for enterprise group of Dell in China as well. Furthermore, he is someone who has a remarkable reputation and has done phenomenal things in building startups from scratch and leading a $1 billion business with the leverage of 14,000 enterprise channel partners. And this unique journey of all of these experiences has enabled him to today not only be a successful investor, has enabled him in his career not only to be a successful executive, but has made him successful in creating an impact in others as well, where he advises and today guides other startups and others in the ecosystem. So, just like that, as I mentioned, we're very excited to have our speaker welcoming to our virtual stage, Jacky Chen. Hello, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Hi, Harsha. Thank you for your wonderful introduction. It's so kind of you.
Thank you, but I don't think I did you enough justice. I think there's so many things that you've done which are absolutely amazing, and I really appreciate you taking the time to be on our humble show to share how you managed to accomplish this with our audience out there as well.
Yeah, cool. Thank you for having me today.
All right, so but just to jump right in, I think when I see all of the things you've done with a very high technology focus, I'm so curious of how you actually got started in these industries and in this space in a way. This is something that you have a career that people in Penn right now, as students, can only dream of having a career as successful as you are, and as exciting as you have had in a way. But I'm so curious, how were you like when you first started? Tell me a little bit maybe about your childhood and how you grew up in a sense. Were you like since a kid in kindergarten, like a tech genius, or was this something that you learned over time?
Okay, great. Thank you for building the channel. Reality it's inspiring. So I have been chasing my dream by changing my own reality all the time. Actually, my dream changed itself time to time, and also became bigger and bigger. So for my childhood, as you mentioned, you the top 5 genius in your kindergarten? Actually, I had not had experience in kindergarten because I was born in a rural country, mountain village in China, like more than 50 years ago. So there was no electronic over there. And only high tech I saw is a driver, like a tractor. So that at that time, when I was a primary school student, my dream was I will be a tractor driver in the future. That'd be fantastic. That was my dream.
Okay, that's a very different dream in my sense, but very, very interesting. Tell me a little bit about how that dream evolved to your next biggest dream.
Yeah. Oh, when I had a dream to be a tractor driver, then I try to study hard and try to learn something like math and language. But tractor driver actually nothing to do with that much with math and language, right? Then I
Mhm.
got good mark. I was lucky enough. I went to a prestigious university in China after my graduate from middle school. Then I jumped into a major mechanical engineering because
Mhm.
I don't want to be a driver, a tractor driver anymore, but I want to build a tractor. So that's why I
Okay.
jumped into mechanical engineering. Then after a while, I learned some trend. Said, oh, now mechanical engineering has an upgrade in the industry. You need to learn more about electro engineering. That's mechanical engineer, mechatronics now. So then I studied my second major, electrical engineering. So I was very excited, and now I can understand mechanical engineering, electronical engineering, then I can handle mechatronics. Then someone told me, Jacky, do you know, guess what? Have you been in computer center sometime? I said, yes. So these days, if you don't know computer or enterprise software, then you miss a lot of tools and your future. That's the real future. Then after I graduated from my undergrad, I jump into enterprise software, like a software part as my postgraduate study. Then
Mhm.
at that time, I believe I got mechanical engineering background, electronical engineering background, and also computer software.
Wow, all the big, the complicated things checked. Okay.
Yeah, that helped me a lot. When before I graduated, many of my classmates tried to reach out to find a job.
Mhm.
Job market is sometimes good, sometimes is not that positive. Then I found myself was so lucky and got so many attractive offers because I combined different academic background. So
Yeah.
then I try to pick up which one I should go. Should I go to Beijing? Should I go to Shanghai? Or should I go to Shenzhen? So a lot of opportunities over there.
Yeah. And how do you decide? I mean, like, I think that's something that, students like when we don't have like any opportunities where we're always looking for it. But there comes a point, when you do your best, when you study hard or you work hard in a sense, when you have many different opportunities, many different options. How did you decide, which was the best for you? And I think you eventually started like getting into like the finance, like role a little bit in your first role as well. So tell us about, the transition into picking, like making the decision of what was the first thing and what was the best thing for you, and
Yeah.
how you actually like went through with that decision, and how you actually fit into the organization like as your first role.
Yeah, before I try to decide which company I should go, then I look around because at that time I positioned myself to be a introvert because I'm not that outgoing. Talking with people, like communication skills, not that great. Then I decide I should be a tech guy. I look
Okay.
at different options. Then I decide I want to be technical guy. I want to be an exciting area. Then I took an offer from a very high ranked software company in Shenzhen. People call it Chinese Silicon Valley.
Yeah, I heard of it.
Yeah,
I did
this
a
is a
whole geography
company.
report on it when I was in year 11. Yes.
Yeah. So when I get on my job, my first job title was assistant project manager. Assistant project manager, I actually don't know much about it. I thought, oh, you have the technical background, you have the skills, you can do that. Then I follow my manager, follow my mentor, and talk with my peers, and go to customer side, ask their requirements, analyze, then provide their customer solutions in talking about their purchase order. After a
Mm-hmm.
while, my HR asked me to have a talk, said, Jacky, you have done a great job. You had a promotion to be a project manager. You are the fantastic sales guy. I'm like, what? I'm a tech guy. Why are sales? He said, you're doing the great sales job all the time. Oh, I've never prepared to be a sales guy because I'm not confident to communicate people at all. But then I say, you did a great job. I did like my daily job, talking with customers, understand their requirements, customer their solutions, and make it happen. So then I like it. I took the job. I
Mm-hmm.
talk about this. I try to share is that usually don't limit yourself or constrain yourself within the box you define it by yourself. So I try to be a tech guy. I'm not confident to be a customer facing people. So then realize to be a fantastic salespeople from my company's point of view. So That's great. That's the great change your reality. Also, not just your action, but you keep be open-minded, change your mindset.
No. And it's like you were already doing like the sales job, and when you and without even knowing it, which is absolutely amazing. And I think like it's something that we all can learn from. Like you just do the best in your job, and you don't know what opportunities will arise from that. In a way, tell me a bit about how you found the confidence to step out of your comfort zone and do something a little bit different, and how you managed to grow in that particular like role to where you I think by the time you finished it at your first organization, you were already kind of the director of their whole like finance industry
Yeah.
portfolio. So that is an amazing growth, from a tech person moving
Yeah.
into sales and then eventually being the director of that whole division. So how did you find the confidence, and how did you were you able to navigate that organization to reach that level?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, that be open-minded. Because
Mm.
when I landed my first job, I just follow my college, colleagues, and my manager, my mentor. Then I've done a great job. Then as an individual contributor, I did great job in my company. Then after a while, my company HR asked me to talk again. Said, now you're promoted to be a manager. I was not prepared at all. Then suddenly, in the next month, I'd be a manager to a department, a division. All the employee colleagues around me was my peer. Suddenly, I became a manager. So I'm not get ready. I'm not get used to it. So now, even sometimes you find some challenge. You manage your peer has been working for you for some while, and some of your peer, some people you manage now, had been worked with the company for longer time than you, even senior in the company from their timing point of view, right? It's hard to
Mm.
change. Then I always look at my manager, and I got manager, always had great manager. That was my luck. Because I always look at them as my role model. I learn from them, have them to give me more advice, and then they help me to build my skills to be a manager, not just individual. Then I follow my manager's instruction, and I work even harder, and I always be willing to help my peers, help them to help make something happen with them together. Then step by step, you will find more and more of your team members comfortable with you, confident with you. Then they will follow you. Then that greatly helped me to transform my role from an individual contributor to a manager. It takes a while.
Okay, you're right, and
Yeah.
it's not the same set of skills. Like you doing well and you managing a team is like two very different things. So I definitely agree. It takes time, and very very good advice in a sense for us who are maybe facing something similar. I'm very curious about your next role as well. I think after that you became an industry development manager at a different organization where you help them build kind of their regional business from scratch, and specifically in the banking industry, which is like a different world from the tech person that you started with. So very very cool. But tell me about how in your next role, from going from managing kind of a team to starting to set up the processes, set up the whole infrastructure of the division within your organization. That is again a different set of skills completely. So what were the skills that you had to learn in that process? And tell me about that learning process, that what was unexpected about it that taught you a lot.
Yes, a lot to learn. I always keep my dream flying, become bigger and brighter. Then at that time, I had opportunity in my first job to be a division director, so management team, but still a division. I try to see opportunity to see global companies, because
Mm.
around 2000, China was really booming at that time, and also all the global leaders try to have China as part of their strategic market. Then one day I got invited from uh, the company. they said, would you like to be part of that? Then I got opportunity to join the company like that when the early days when EMC entered into China as one of a small team to build up their business. After that, I worked there for a while. I did great job. Then I immigrated to Canada, working another company, another bank like Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce for a while. Then, cause when I was in EMC for a few years, I got good reputation and in China market. Then another company called McData, a Colorado-based public company, and they try to build out. They told me we are expanding our business into Asia Pacific. We need you to build up China business from scratch. Then, I believe that's a great opportunity. But at the beginning, I don't think that way. And at the beginning, I think, I moved to Canada. I like the country, very nice people, very inclusive. I enjoy the daily life, casual. Then someone said, look around. Have you seen someone in the office like white hair? Then they're still doing the daily job, like the same thing, nothing changed. If you don't move, you will be like that person. Do you want to change? I believe you need to change. You have to change. Then that inspired me. Yes, I should just quiet down, sit there. I should keep my passion and business my dream going. Then I agreed. I signed an offer letter with Colorado. Then I accepted the job. Then the HR and my manager asked me, what do you need to start? I said, a mobile and a laptop. They said, that's it? They told me, but the other way, they said, we don't have much resource. I believe that can help you, but we can have more resource. But I believe you believe a mobile and laptop is good enough. I believe it's good enough. Then I took a mobile and laptop, fly back to Beijing, start new office. I need to find somewhere to stay myself. Then the daytime, I work I run across street to the financial district, to the telecommunication zone, then to try to find my positioned potential customers and also channel partners in daytime. In nighttime, I sit there, transfer the documents, solution documents, technical documents, products from English to Chinese, because we do have translators, but they translated in the specific technical documents. Like once you read that, it looks weird. I had to do that by myself. Then I translated, write proposal for my customers into like 2-3 a.m. in the morning. Then I pack up, have a sleep, then jump into the street to talk to my customers and partners again. The first customer was really tough to have. Once I had a couple of customers and partners, then it was easier for me to talk with some more customers and partners. Now it's time for me to build up my team, because I can't just be
You cannot leave the whole 24 hours running in the morning and then translating in the night. You need like a team. Yeah.
Yes, of course. When some customer ask me, my competitors had like 30, 20 employees in the market, and you are one man band. How can I be confident to go with it? So then I realized, I have to do something. So now get more resource, and I believe my company. I also build up confidence for my corporate compellent as well. Not compellent. That time I still make data. So when I try to have a team, and then I taught myself what I changed myself to adapt to the role to build up Chinese market business for American high tech company. I look at different views. One, my local view, because I know China pretty well, had been a manager for the whole country. Then I have to learn another from other angle. From my company point of view, McData was a global leading company in data storage network side. I believe I trust their practice. I believe their leadership has built on something I need to learn. So I got opportunity to train over there for a while, then learn their practice and adopt that into our local culture. Also for business culture, local culture, they are sometimes they're connected with each other. I can't just adopt, copy, paste what I learned. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mentioned sometime to my friends, like in US side, we when we get get a training, sales training, customer training, we- people always ask, customers say, asked, what keep you awake all the night? It's a good question to dig out customer requirements, right? But
Yeah.
in China, if for local culture, if you ask that way, the question from to
Mhm.
ask the question for a customer in China, they will be very upset. They will kick you out of the office. So you are weird. Why you ask that question? So I have to tune the different methodology into local culture and business culture to local business culture. And I believe business culture, many things are in common. The global practice are acceptable and can be easily adapted to local market as well. For example, I was trained, you need to deliver customer business value, not only to your customer itself, also help your customer achieve their business value to their customers and their partners. Go beyond the next step. Then also you need to help them customize your solution. You don't to increase your customers' daily operation workload. You don't want your customer be whelmed in a lot of additional work because of a solution, right?
Mhm.
Then you have to simplify their solution operation. And at the same time, you need to reduce their cost and total ownership, cost of ownership of the solution, and also for their create their value for additional value with your solution and dramatically reduce their financial cost in additional way. So if you adapt that option to local Chinese customers, they agree with that because they didn't hear much of that from a solution provider sales point of view. But today you discuss with them, they were excited. This looks like they're their friend. They think of themselves. They think help themselves. So then immediately get close relationship with the customer in a different level. That's the
Mm.
customer change. The culture change need to be gear up from global to local.
So you get the the good things that the people like around the world have researched, the procedures that, as you said, that work, but you don't copy and paste them. You understand why it works, and then you implement it in a way that makes sense for the local culture, so that the essence of it, the end goal of it is maintained in different parts. So that's very important. And I know, like for me personally, it's something that I've been kind of struggling with understanding, both like the US market and kind of the Asia Pacific market, because I am from this region and I've been like doing business in this region for 6 7 years. And then now
Mhm.
I go to China and I learn a completely different way of doing business, and a completely different way of what they say entrepreneurship is and all that. So sometimes it's hard for me to kind of piece both together in my own mind and understand, what I should take from where, how I should adapt it together in a way. You
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 are young.
mentioned,
You have done so fantastic job already.
well, you're
You're,
very, very
you're
kind.
brilliant. Yes.
Yeah, but like, to my question, in a sense, on the flip side, how do you explain to people in the US what is happening in the local culture here? Because sometimes we know it because we've seen it all of our lives, in a sense. But
Mhm.
then to explain it to someone in the US who have no context of what is happening, how do you kind of communicate, the responses that you were getting, so that they, in a way that they would understand?
Yeah. For we need to find a common ground, right? For example, the setup, the objective, corporate setup. I agree with that. Then how we should achieve that? I follow their best practice, and they agree with that. They are happy with that. I can follow their strategic plan, right? But
Mm-hmm.
for daily operational point of view, something may be tuned. For example, like you can have a coffee with your customer and discuss business all in their office. Don't have to have dinner together, drink all the time. But in China at that time, people you get know them. You have to talk before you talk about business seriously. You have to know them. They need to know you. They need to have lunch with you, dinner with you, drink with you, and get comfortable with you, and make like a trustworthy, right? Trustworthy. So sometimes you need to let them know we are doing this way. They're doing the same way, but a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, in the States, you have a phone call, like a video call, and to discuss business. But in China, most chance, no way, no way. You have to meet them in person,
Yeah.
right? You have to go to their office, follow their schedule. They usually at that time, like your customer, don't reach out for solution. They stay in office, rely on you to approach them. That's different. And also, you have to pack our value solution to our customer with the local language and culture, so that they know that it is acceptable in their way. And for as I mentioned, if I need to build up in our business and accelerate business based on a few early customers, I have to build up team. I have to make some different change. For example, hiring team. Hiring
Mm-hmm.
team, then you will build a team. You not only adapt to the both sides, global and local, you also have to work with your team, educate them, discuss with them, get them agree with you. They would like to be the same approach as you to learn from global and adapt to local, because they may not have that experience at all. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to work with the team. The other side, beyond the team, and for myself, I have to restructure my time and my focus, right? Like I have to set my objective strategy, and also need to do daily operation with team, like customer sales, channel partnership, pre-sales solution, technical solutions, service and support, and also HR, and you on P&L. So
Mm-hmm.
you like local president, you have to change yourself, work with the team to make things happen. So a lot of happenings in my first first time as a country manager in China for US company, like job responsibility change, culture change, and team, the big part.
Mm-hmm. No, very, very, yeah, good. But I also like I think you got like very, very good at it, and I appreciate, the examples you gave, because I can really relate to those examples. Like as you said, these differences, the team part
Mhm.
of it, that is so, so important. And I'm so curious because I think after that you even founded your own organization that helps American enterprise software companies actually
Yeah.
kind of enter the Asian market in a way. How is it different, now, like being in a slightly in the same kind of sector of work, but in a slightly different position? So previously you're looking at one company inside the company, and then entering the market. Now you're looking at the outside view, helping many different organizations make that same transition. How
That's
is
right.
it different? And what do you think, was something unexpected as you were moving into this your own organization that did this facilitation
Mhm.
that you really learned something big from?
Yeah, that's true. Being an um, employee for a company is very different from being an entrepreneur. I didn't realize that much different, right? It sounds like after I work with McData, a public company, as managing director in China, like a president, right? I see the overall and the whole cycle from opening the market from just myself and build up a great business. Then 5 years after global acquisition, they acquired. Then I did the transition, team, business, etc., and close the office, transfer everything to the acquire.
Mm-hmm.
Then I did many headhunters. Jacky, I have more opportunities for you, bigger opportunities. So I think myself, do I need to repeat the process or just get a big company? Then I try to start my own business because startup is exciting, right? I want to have that experience. Then I talk to myself, I can help other American companies into into China or APAC from scratch. Then I have the skill. I've gone through the whole process. Then I started my own business as a different model, as a business to business. I not work for the company. I cooperate with the company as business partnership with a unique business model. I have done quite a lot of research, fly to the States, travel for many days, talk to many founders and CEOs. Then one company, we got a common language. That's Compellant. Then Compellant is a New York public company, and I met their founder, CEO, and also a global sales VP as well. When we discuss, they they believe this business model will be more effective than just start an office from scratch. Then we work together. And before that, I tried to find a customer in the US. I talk with many companies, large and less. I learn a lot. I approach wrong customers, and with with a wrong approach, then I learned a lot. Then I started when I started a business, still one man band at that time. One day, I really struggled with getting a new customer. In the morning, I did exercise in my community neighborhood. I thought myself, what hell? I should start my business from scratch. Why I need to do it that way? Why would I just took an offer to be a country manager to be for another company? Then I talked to myself, struggling, really struggling at that time. Then I talked to myself, since I have everything studied, I also have hiring employee in the process. I almost kick everything off. I should keep going. Then when I get my first customer again in China, then everything opened. All the
Mm.
resource, you see, all the opportunities came to you. So that's different. Then I realized, startup entrepreneur is very different from for you to work with a company, even like a president. You
Mm.
have to responsible for the business, and employee rely on you. and also you have to pay salaries, like awards. You have to keep your cash flow all the time with your personal investment. Because at that time, China venture capital market in China has not that popular yet. I Most parties only use their own money to start their business, so that's a challenge. So that time helped me to understand how hard startup founders are. That helped me today a lot for me to understand better of startup founders and their startup business.
Mm. No, no, I think I love this story because as you said, sometimes it is very, very hard. And, like, I like that one customer theory is so true. Sometimes just to get the first, like, one, two, like customers is always so hard. And then after that, it seems, oh, this is so easy, like we look back, it doesn't become 100% easy, it becomes much more manageable.
Right.
But the period between like 0 to 1 is so much emotion, so much effort. Like even now, like I'm working on, like, every time I work on a new project, I go through that phase where, as an
Mhm.
entrepreneur, I'm like, oh, I'm not seeing any progress, I don't see, it going anywhere. But at the same time, like managing the emotion is something that I think is like, if you can manage it well, that's how you get to eventually becoming the successful startup. As someone who, had that experience and also today works with a lot of startups,
Yeah.
how do you advise these new entrepreneurs based on your experience to be able to handle that moment? Because even me, I've gone through it so many times, but
Yeah.
even now, I'm just like, I know it's the process, but it's still painful. So how do you advise them to be able to and support them to be able to make it through?
Yes, for startups, it really depends on your hard working, the market, and also the opportunity, luckiness, right? The luck. So for my startup, and also I helped Compellant and the American company, public company, started their business in APAC from China, Hong Kong as an initial market. Then the company was acquired after like 2011, probably at that time. Then my business was acquired at the same deal as well. So that's good enough for me to get a great exit.
That's amazing,
Yeah,
man.
amazing. So startup is always like that time, right? Then I was moved into Dell and helped them build and the first year doing integration. The second year helped them build up enterprise channel. Then the third year helped them to build up enterprise system group business. And I have got a lot of support from American corporate side, and because merge acquisition, they try to make this merge acquisition be valuable for their long-term strategy, improve their business from consumer to enterprise solutions. They treat me very well. Then after 3 years worked time with them, I believe I talk to myself, I need to make something change, because I have been gone through with startup for myself and startup the regional business for a couple of American companies, public companies, and now work with global mega capital company. Understand the different approach, their customer group, their strategy, or their teamwork, their policy operation, very different. I learned the different layers of business. And after that, I talked to myself, what would be my next step? I always like to change. And I believe I like startup ecosystem more than a matured company for routine daily work. Then I jumped back to Canada and with the help of local entrepreneurs, startup investors, and get connected with local angel groups and also local incubators. This is my connection to a new world. Then I have to adapt to the new world with a different approach and strategy. For the new, getting to the new ecosystem, and especially angel investing in Canada, and I also involved in American market as well through Working Alumni Angel. And I believe a few things need to be changed. For like business culture, I work with American public company for quite a few years, around 2 decades, pretty similar. But for social culture, still very different. The way you're talking to people and where you get things done, right? And your working pace. For example, in China, not myself, even my team can work very late into night. But here, even some incubator they almost empty in weekend.
Yeah, I'm very surprised too. Yeah.
Very close, right? So that's different. You don't have to just go your own way. You have to adapt to your local team and your local culture. They have their reason to be that way. So that's culture difference. Then for me, I have business experience and a technical academic background, and also I'm an MBA in general business management. But now I jump into angel investing. I need to learn more about finance. Then I did a research. Many people told me, you definitely need to go to Wharton. The Wharton School is the best of the best in finance. Then I was lucky enough, was accepted by Wharton and studied there for 2 years for like finance. Finally,
Yeah.
I realized, wow, that those professors, what they talk not only on academic level, but also very practical, because they came from real world. And also the network, your alumni, they help you a lot see the whole ecosystem, a broad view of the industry. So that helped me a lot. Then that way helped me build up way confidence to continue my journey in angel investing. Then after a while, I work with local angel group, local incubators, and also a lot of local angel investors. Some of them help me a lot and lot as my mentor and guide me through different process. And I follow them. I really appreciate their help. So that's the way. Like Benton Leon, they introduced me to local group. They helped me a lot as a mentor. He said, "No, Jacky, you're doing great." I always treat him as my mentor, always. So then I started to work with some companies, startup, and I found local startups, they are very friendly. They are very open, very inclusive. When I talk with one company, they, after due diligence, I invest a little money. They even ask, "Would you like to be part of the business, or can you be our like a board or director?" So like that way. Then I jump into a couple of a couple of startups. I really help them and give them share my experience with them, and we did great job. Some companies moving much faster. The cost, some experience you share, they will benefit a lot because they have passion. They have passion. They have their fundamental view in the industry and their knowledge, their skills. So that way inspire me as well, cause make me happy, cause they are happy, they see the value. I spend a lot of time in local community to help incubators to be a judge and help even different university to be like a startup mentor, like University of Waterloo, University of Toronto for their incubators. And also, I work with Working Alumni Angels. I realize that that group has brought network, not can help entrepreneurs with a little funding, but also the network help them to go to market strategy very well. So I spent quite some time with Working Alumni Angel. They have 500 members globally, and I help the um, angel group doing due diligence, sometimes lead deals, and train our new member and to get on the same page, the same approach, and also reach out to different members who have unique skills in different industry and different sector, help our entrepreneurs. That helped a lot. Especially I worked in Canada, worked with Canadian local companies. With my experience with personal investing into startups as an angel investor, I was confident to be a co-founder and a general partner of local venture capital fund. As I mentioned, Canadian ecosystem is very open, friendly, nicely inclusive. When a couple of local veteran try to start up a local fund, when we talk, they ask me, Jacky, if you like, we can do it together. We can build up a fund. A few of us initiated the idea. Yeah, we believe we can help the local innovation ecosystem to move forward one step. Then that's the initial idea. We build our Archangel network of funds. Then we have a passive fund, portfolio fund, and active. Then StarForge I led is active because they said, Jack, you're still young, but I'm not that really young. But they believe I'm still young, still have the energy to be proactively to do like investment, help the startup company. Then that fund, we built quite a few portfolio local companies and with the local startup innovation companies. And with the gear up with US market, US like investors and entrepreneurs, and also with venture capitalists like Angel Group, Working Alumni Angel, we gear up, we help Canadian local ecosystem and startup companies move to US, access the market not only for funding, but also leverage the expertise of the network, help them to access the market, build up the right strategy to work with American customers. So when I change myself step by step, then I realize all the resource became more and more, and what I can do, and I can do more and more beyond my original imagination. So my dream is becomes bigger and brighter. So that's the way.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
you are just so inspiring, and I love, as you said, how the dream got bigger and bigger, and how you did that step by step. And I think the question that as we start to wrap up and all of that, that I have is, you are so humble and you are so kind to share your experience, to share your time and all of that. But you're obviously like someone who has very successful career, that many people come to you, like as you mentioned, even in the beginning, the reputation is what gets people to trust you. You as you work harder and as you see the results of your reputation grows. And even now, it's people have a lot of confidence in you, and people are able to see that you are someone who has value to share your experiences and all of that. How did you go about building this reputation, and how do you maintain the relationships with the people around you, so that you constantly give your best in whatever it is you're doing?
To be frankly, I have never think about build a reputation and that way keep a relationship. What I try to do is I try to, if people ask me for help, I try to share, and then I share what I can do. I help them. Then I help them. It's a fun. It's make myself happy, right?
Mhm.
So then you get more people get connected with you as friends. Then once they find something they need help, they reach out to you. They have some good thing, bad thing, ugly thing. They help. They share with you, right? Then once they need some help, they realize, oh, that's Jacky. Probably I can get some help from him. They reach out to you automatically. So
Hmm.
life is a journey to change life, and not for individual and the world around you, but change life. You help yourself, and also for me, I always follow my dream and keep my passion, and plan do everything, work very hard, help people each other, cause this world people is a social animal, right? They
Mhm.
have to work together, help each other, then share idea, have more brains, then make things happen much easier. Make
Mhm.
your dream happen, make their dream happen. Then you move forward. That's why I'm so happy to devote my time for some community service like volunteering, because make me happy. They see the value. I saw my value, and they're happy. My happy. This kind of meaningful life, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very, very, very nice. Okay, I like that philosophy. All right, very,
Thank you so
very
much. Yeah.
interesting conversation, and thank you so much for being on this show. I learned so much from you, and I really enjoyed the stories you shared, the lessons that you took away and shared with us as well, because I think that you just have such a not only interesting but such a relatable like story that I feel many of us struggle with in a much smaller scale, that it's so nice to see how you're tackling these problems at the larger scale. I think it gives us all a lot of hope. So thank you so much for taking your time, and I hope that you had fun as much as I did, having you on the show and speaking to you. So thank you so
Yeah.
much. I
Thank you
really
so much, Harsha. You are brilliant, and I believe your channel, changing reality, impact a lot to the audience and the society, and making a better world as well. So that's a great impact. I really appreciate that very much. Appreciate it.
thank you so much. And as you said, it's fun to do, so good on all ends in a way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you for having me today. Cheers.
Likewise, thank you for joining us. And with that, we should also thank our audience. Thank you so much for listening in and also for joining us in this interview. As always, this has been Changing Reality, and do tune in to see how you can change your life and as you said, grow your dream, as you progress throughout your career. And with that, that's a wrap for our episode for today. Bye.
Bye bye. Cheers.
You're listening to Changing Reality. Changing Reality, where we bend reality all across the world. Only on WQHS Radio.